Yo, what's up, guys? I hope you guys are having a great day. It is me, Caden, and today I want to talk about being an electrician, going back to being an electrician for me, and how this ties into the desire to always want to find the right answer. I don't know about you guys, but I just want to know what the right answer is. I just want to know what the right thing to do is, what the right move is to make, and over the last month and a half, being unemployed, really struggling with not being productive, which I hate. Like, I hate doing it, or I hate doing nothing, because I am doing stuff. It's just not stuff I consider productive, and society considers productive. There's this constant desire to want to find the right next move. And when I pray with God, it's always like, God, tell me what the right next move is. I'm not moving till you tell me what the right move is. And I want complete certainty. And basically I'm asking, like, I don't want to exercise my faith. Tell me where to go. I will go there, right? I don't care where it is. I just want the certainty that it is the right answer, right? And this is kind of how I've been praying over the last month and a half. And over the last week and a half, I won't lie, guys, like, I kind of just took a step back over the last week from praying with God all the time and doing all the stuff with him. And I started to realize, like, man, like, I'm really using God, again, transactionally, to find the right path that will get me to where I want to go, or where I think he wants me to go. And, that's not what it's about. That's not what a relationship with God is about. And stepping away from that, I was just able to realize and accept, like, I have this desire for being right and finding the right path. And the reason why I want to find the right the right path and the right thing to do is so I can do it perfectly, so I can guarantee the outcome and guarantee the calling that God has for me, and guarantee goals that I have, right? And it's basically like this, it's like this way to kind of control the outcome, right? That's what perfectionism is. And perfectionism, if you're using it that way, it's a really bad thing. You cannot use perfectionism to guarantee an outcome, okay? But you should chase perfectionism because it helps with getting the outcome. It doesn't guarantee it. It helps, though, right? The way I kind of think about it is there's, like, perfectionism and there's excellence, right? You should be striving for excellence, and I think they're the same thing. It's just, what are you using for? Are you just striving for excellence because you just want to be the best at what you do? You want to steward the gifts you have? You want to push your limits? Or are you chasing excellence and perfectionism to guarantee and control an outcome? That's the wrong way to go about it, okay? This is the reason why I want the right, perfect answer, and path and direction and next step. And praying with God, that's what I was praying. I was like, God, give me the right, perfect next step that I have complete certainty in, so that I know it's the right path and that I can guarantee the outcome. And basically, in this path, you do not exercise your faith, right? Like, there's no room to exercise your faith. And I knew over the last week, whenever I prayed to God, like, tell me what the next step is for me, I knew when I prayed that, in the back of my head, I was like, I know it's being an electrician. Like, I know it's going back to being an electrician. And I just didn't want to accept it. And I'm still, even now, struggling to accept it. And I don't know if I said this already, but basically, when I quit door to door, like 3 days after I quit door to door, and I was I was praying with God, and I had this imaginative moment where I saw myself as an electrician, and this electrician, being an electrician, it was like, it didn't define me in any way, and it wasn't a burden to me. It was like this, like, leverage point. Like, it was something I leveraged to build and live a certain life that I want to live. And I was like, for some reason, that imaginative moment just really sat with me over the last month and a half. And I didn't think about it as much like the first like few weeks, but I've been really thinking about it like the last 2 to 3 weeks. And over the last 4 days, I just can't not think about it. And when basically I had this imaginative moment, and every time I prayed to God, like, hey, what's the next step? I would be sent back to this imaginative moment I had, and I would just think like, oh, I know it's being an electrician and kind of being an electrician and using that to build a life. Like, I know that's the next step. And when I think about it logically, it's also what I kind of want. Like, when I think about it from the failures I made in the past, like when I was an electrician before and I went to start my business, I just quit being an electrician. I cut off all my income and I just went all in on the business and on door to door. And that was not good, right? Like, the way you should do it is you should just, that's a very, like, there's a lot of emotional high in that. There's a lot of ego in that, right? And the way you should do it is you should stay electrician, cut down your ego, and do that on the side slowly, right? And the thing for me is, like, I hate slowly, bro. Like, I just want to, like, to me, going all in is, like, the right answer. Like, that's the right thing to do. It's, like, go all in on something, do it the best, make the money. But the thing is, like, you can't go all in on something because it just, well, you can, okay, but for me, it's new. It was hard for me to do because I was just unstable internally, right? And door to door and starting business, if you are defining growth and all that stuff by the amount of sales you have and your identity by the sales you make and the money you make, is going to be really unstable for you, and you're going to be unstable emotionally, and that's what happened to me. But anyways, that's a long story. Coming back to going to be an electrician, I knew that's what I had to do. And every time I prayed it, I thought about it, and last 2 days, I've been thinking about it a lot. So today, I finally came out here, and I was like, okay, God, I am only focusing on this electrician problem I have, because even though I know it's the right step I want to make, I avoid it and I don't accept it and I don't take action towards it. And I was praying with God, and I was like, hey, God, you're cool, you're amazing. How's it going, right? What is up with this problem? What is going on here? And I was praying, and I was, when you ask God a question, you just go silent. And I was just going silent. I was just like meditating in silence, whatever you want to call it. Sitting in silence, and this word worthless came to me, very subtly. It was very subtle. And I hate this word, okay? Because worthlessness is basically the problem that I've been dealing with for the last 3 years. And subconsciously, maybe even longer. It's a word that's been with me, roughly, and then over the last like half a year, it's been like, it comes up a lot. And I hate this word. And I was like, crap, man, like, it's this word again. Whatever. And I'm at this point now where I just accept it, whenever it's just kind of an ego cut, because I think I get over this worthlessness problem, and then God tells me again, like, hey, you still have this problem. I'm like, okay, crap. But anyways, I was like, okay, I got this worthlessness problem, okay. And I was thinking about it a little bit. I don't remember what I was thinking about, but I basically got to this point. I was like, hey, like, I have to take action on this. I was like, what's the first step? The first step is me updating my resume. I was like, okay. As soon as I said that and I started thinking about it, I had this emotional exhaustion that came to me. And I went to God. I was like, what's with this emotional exhaustion I have? Like, why is this here? And basically, the Holy Spirit told me, very, very subtly, I got the words weight and meaning. Like, I'm dealing with a weight and I'm dealing with a meaning. And I was like, okay, so I'm attaching a certain meaning and weight to doing that. So I thought about it a little bit. I was like, okay, there's probably like some sort of regression. And I went to God and I was like, okay, like what are some words? You know, and I heard the words like regression. I heard the words like identity and failure and like some other things. And basically my conclusion was I avoid doing it because to me it's evidence of regression. It is evidence that I failed and that I don't have the competence I think I had. And it's basically me taking a step back, and humans hate taking a step back. And basically me taking a step back is basically evidence that I can't solve problems, and me not being able to solve problems is basically me not having the competence, and me having competence being able to overcome problems is how I define my identity and my value and my worth. And I was like, okay, what do I redefine this as, right? And basically what I have to redefine it as is I have to take this regression, failure, identity mindset, and I have to change it into this is just me having a foundation. This is me just taking the slow, steady, stable path. This is me, there are benefits to this. Like, I'm just trading my labor and time for an income, so I can take that income and I can invest it into this better life, right? Into diet, gym, certain routines, maybe business, and just have something to sit on, right? To stand on. And that's basically what I have to do. And it's going to be hard for me to do that because I don't really want to. Like, to me, it's not a very appealing thing to do. I don't want to regress back, to go back to being an electrician. I want something new. I want something better, right? I want to wait on God and Him to bring something better, But I don't think God's telling me to do that. And I kind of know this is the next step, and I just have to start accepting this is the next step. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing the rest of this day, is kind of making some sort of routine or putting down my ego and my protection and just going to God and being like, hey, God, help me to accept this because I don't want to. But that's kind of what I got from today, thinking about it and what's been happening over the last month with this electrician and always looking for the right answer. But yeah, hopefully you guys got something from this. Reflect on this to your guys' self. Reflect on this yourself. If you guys are looking for right answers, or there's something you're avoiding because you want certainty that it's the perfect right answer or step. But anyways, that's it for me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.